that you're all here. Our CEO has asked me to share a message that she recorded especially for you. So let's hear from Tanya now.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar. I'm Tanya Niskoretsky, CEO and co-founder of the Virtual Diamond Boutique. And before we get started, I would like to take 2 minutes to give you an overview of why VDB was created. Virtual Diamond Boutique was created by myself and other industry veterans that have been in the retail and wholesale sectors for decades. We felt that the current marketplace options available to us were outdated and did not sufficiently assist retailers and suppliers to survive and thrive in today's times. Our goal is to bring easy-to-use, interactive, and visually appealing technology that modernizes the way we buy and sell in both B2B and B2C channels. We're not just a marketplace. We are also a technology company that offers solutions for retailers and suppliers, from in-store sales tools to online digital options. We partner with the industry and build applications for the jewelry industry needs. I thank you for taking the time to get to know VDB, and I am personally always available to listen to those that wish to connect with me. Have a blessed and safe day, and most importantly, take care of yourselves and your loved ones during this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. That was a great message, very inspirational. I wanted to tell you that I always view Virtual Diamond Boutique as like two sides of a coin. On one side, it's a sourcing platform, and on the other side, it's an extraordinary in-store customer-facing tool to help you sell. If you only think of Virtual Diamond Boutique as a sourcing platform, some of you who don't know us might be surprised to know that we go way beyond that. It's not just a marketplace for goods. We created a platform to help retailers to sell more efficiently, a way for you to weave modern, sophisticated technology in an easy-to-use format. And it enables you to engage your customers in the way that they are expecting to be engaged with in the world of today. VDB connects consumers to the retailers and the retailers to their suppliers. This is a beneficial business cycle that helps the entire industry to profit. Let's go to slide 2. So VDB was created for the trade by the trade. That's a very important thing, because the people who founded Virtual Diamond Boutique have 30, 35 years in the industry. And it's very important for you to understand that, because having vast experience in the industry, they understand what our trials and tribulations are, all the things that you go through on a daily basis. So when they created this platform for you guys to use, they created it with an extensive knowledge of what it is that's lacking and what it is that you will need to use. And I think that's a very, very critical thing. Obviously, we are a marketplace for diamonds, colored gemstones, for finished jewelry, and for lab-grown diamonds as well. We've got a very, very full inventory. We have over 850,000 items that we display from some of the world's top suppliers. So this gives you access to vast, vast, vast resources that you would never have otherwise had. VDB is available for you to see on your mobile devices, which are your smartphones and your tablets, and web browsers, which are your computers, your PCs. The fact that you can use the Virtual Diamond Boutique platform on mobile devices is an extraordinary feature because it means that you can actually conduct business after and before normal business hours. Even on days when you're closed, you could be on vacation and run into somebody that's looking for something. I have to tell you, a retailer called me with a great story. He told me that he and his wife were at a dinner party and they met a young couple, and they happened to mention that they were going to be getting engaged. And when the couple found out that this gentleman was the owner of a jewelry store, he said, "Oh, that's wonderful. Give me your business card. We'll come in and see you soon." And the guy said, "Why not? Why wait? Why come and see me soon? Let's do it now." They literally sat down on the sofa and he pulled out his phone and they scrolled through and they actually identified 3 diamonds on the VDB platform that were of interest to the couple. The couple came in the following week. He presented the diamonds to them and they actually sold one. So it really illustrates how you are not restricted in where and when you can use this platform, okay? We have over 18,000 members like yourselves that have registered to use the VDB platform. These 18,000 members include retailers and suppliers, and they are present in 126 countries around the world. So when we tell you that VDB is a global marketplace, we really mean it. The basic membership for you to source and search for products and for you to use it in store to show and sell product with your customers is free. And it will remain free for the next 20 minutes. That's a joke, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to make sure that you were all really paying attention, and I see that you are. VDB is free to source, to search, and to use in-store with your customers. Let's go to the next slide, if we can. What makes VDB different? VDB is very different than other platforms. I'm sure you all know how to perform a diamond search. You're in this industry and putting in the parameters, the search criteria to find a diamond or a gemstone, it's not rocket science, and I'm sure you all have experience. But I want to drive home the point to you that VDB is not only a sourcing tool, it is a selling tool. Other platforms were developed specifically as vendor platforms. They were never intended to be used directly with the public. They were never intended to be able to turn your cell phone or your tablet around and actually show and sell product on the platform. Our platform is beautiful and customer friendly. So that's a very, very important feature. We live in a totally visual world these days. Everybody is interested in seeing images of items that they are looking for to purchase. And VDB has the most high definition images and 360-degree videos of the products that we sell, the diamonds, the gemstones, and the finished jewelry. Imaging is so incredibly important because, especially with the products that we feature, because we really believe that a diamond, for example, is an extraordinary work of art. And it cannot just be boiled down to the 4 C's that represented on a lab certification or characteristics that are written about it on a piece of paper. In order to fully appreciate the magnificence and beauty of the product you're selling, you have to be able to see it. You have to be able to see the table. You have to be able to have a video to turn it around, to see the pavilion, to see all the facets. And that's how you can determine whether a stone is something worthy of you bringing in, and that's how you'll be able to dazzle your customers in store because of these images and videos that we offer you. We also offer you the ability to set your price up, your markup modes. One of the reasons why you're able to use VDB in your store when you're customer facing is because you can press a button and present the merchandise that you want to show your customer without vendor information and with your marked up retail price. So the customer that you're working with doesn't see what your cost is, of course, and doesn't see who you're buying the goods from. And we also have a mode in which you can search, which you can present to your customers, which shows no pricing at all. And we'll get into that a little later. There are nice applications for that. We have buy, memo, and hold buttons. When you click open a diamond or any of the products, you have the ability to call it in on memo, to actually buy it if you know it's going to be a done deal, and to ask a supplier to hold it for a certain period of time for you if you should have customers coming in a few days and you're not sure you want to memo it in quite yet, but you want to know if the supplier will be kind enough to hold it. So literally with the press of a button, you can request to a supplier to buy a stone, to call it in on memo, or to simply hold it. It's so instantaneous that you can even do this while you are customer facing. If you're working with someone and they are flipping out over a stone and they're telling you that they want to see this, you can memo it without breaking eye contact with your customer. It makes it holds your customer in your focus, and it expedites your whole work process. And that's a wonderful feature. We also have a back of the house inventory management system, which is something that suppliers love because it really helps them to control the flow in and out of their inventory. And there are certain cases when a retailer will have access to the inventory management system back of the house, and I will go into that as well. As far as customer support, that is such an essential thing. And I want you to know that VDB doesn't source out their technical support to an external company. We are one of the few companies that have their own internal technical customer support. So we are always available to walk you through and address any issue, any problem you have. We don't want you to struggle through anything. If there's a problem, we give you the knowledge of who to contact, and we offer a very fast turnaround time. We will be there to hold your hand through anything that comes up. I know that a lot of you retailers and suppliers happen to be members of various organizations and buying groups. The CBG buying group and the RJO buying group, for example, are so enthralled with what we have created for their community that they tout us as the official sourcing network. We are the network that CBG and RJO recommend that their retailers use to source their goods. And I want to tell you that when you register for your membership, your free membership in VDB, there is a field that you're going to see that's going to ask you if you happen to be a member of one of these organizations. You should indicate that, because what we've done for these members, we create a special button on the homepage that will allow you to limit your search specifically to the suppliers that are also members of your buying group, which is a wonderful feature, because obviously you want to support the buying groups that you're a member of. And this enables you to first search and source from those suppliers that are in your group. If by chance you don't happen to find what you're looking for from your group by suppliers, you have the ability to go out of that function and search through the whole VDB network. It's your choice. I think we should move maybe to the next slide. I wanted to tell you that a colleague of mine has prepared a video which showcases some of the wonderful features that VDB offers. And you know, a picture's worth 1,000 words, so I thought it would be a good opportunity to share this with you. It's going to show you how to access all 4 of the platforms, and then it's also going to show you some of these quote-unquote hidden features that we humorously refer to, because they may not be quite as obvious to you unless we point them out to you, and they will help you to engage directly with your customers and potentially close more sales faster. I just wanted to say before we go to the video, if any of you out there are not particularly skilled at multitasking, like myself, and have trouble watching a video and taking copious notes, please put your pens down and relax, sit back, watch the video, because after the webinar is over, we are going to make available to each and every one of you a video of the whole webinar, which will include this demonstration. So just enjoy, relax, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Let's go to that video.
Let's run a search together on the Virtual Diamond Boutique. You can access VDB on your mobile phone, tablet, or desktop computer by logging in via our website. As I open the app, I'm brought to the diamond shape screen. To go to the home menu, I'm going to tap the icon in the upper left-hand corner. It brings me to the home menu, and I can see the Virtual Diamond Boutique logo at the top. Just below are the icons that help you navigate between our different product categories. We have Mine Diamonds on the platform, which is the purple icon, Colored Gemstones, which is the blue icon, Jewelry, which is the green icon, and Lab-Grown Loose Diamonds, which is the orange icon. I'm going to go back to Mine Diamonds. I also want to point out on the home menu your name. When you tap on your name, it opens up price modes. Virtual Diamond Boutique is both a sourcing and selling tool. If you're sourcing, you're going to select white mode, which is base price or cost price, and vendor information. If you're sitting with a client, you're either going to engage green mode or orange mode. Green mode is no prices, no vendor information. Orange mode is markup price, no vendor information. You can manipulate the markup percent each time you log in. Virtual Diamond Boutique is the official sourcing platform for the CBG and RJO groups. So if you are a member, let us know when you register so we can give you access to both your buying group as well as the general Virtual Diamond Boutique network. Let's run a new search in Mine Diamonds. So I'm going to select shape. I'm going to choose rounds. I'm looking for a 1 carat to 1.05 carat. I can either tap and type or click and drag the sliding scale to the left. Color, you have the option to search fancy color diamonds or white diamonds. I'm going to select H. Clarity, BS1. Cut, I'm going to choose XXX. The wheel at the bottom spins to open up additional search criteria. I can spin it around and access fluorescence. I'm choosing none. Lab, I'm going to skip, but if you do want to choose specific grading labs, you can select them. Depth and table, you can enter the percents. Enhancements, we naturally default to off, but if you are looking for a color enhanced or clarity enhanced diamond, you could toggle it to on. Budget is a useful tool if you're sitting with a customer on a tight budget. And the icon just off to the right of the search wheel, the triangle or upward shaped arrow, when you tap it, gives you access to search by specific suppliers or location. In this case, I'm going to select United States. I'm going to close the keyboard by hitting done and done. I'm going to run the search. Key difference with Virtual Diamond Boutique is we are not just a much more user-friendly interface that's fun for the customer to engage with, but we also populate with pictures and imaging. We believe that this imaging will help you qualify and close the sale more efficiently at the counter. If you are interested in switching from the picture view to the list view, you're going to tap the icon towards the upper right-hand corner, the 4 lines that are grayed, and it will switch it to a list view. You can switch back to the picture view by tapping on the grid with 9. You can modify the search. I'm going to skip that feature. I can save the search and come back to it later by tapping the floppy disk icon, and I can sort any way I'd like. In this case, I'm going to go back to the list view. On the list view, you notice there are green dots. These are availability dots. So if it's green, it means the vendor should be able to ship immediately. If it's red, call for availability. The open hearts next to each item allow you to save an item as a favorite and come back to it. So if I want to save this diamond, as I scroll down, I can select which diamond. I'm going to select this diamond. Opens up the diamond detail. It lets me know immediately who's holding the diamond. I can tap on their name and know where their office is located. I can view the diamond details, and at the bottom of the screen I can view the image, the video that the vendor uploaded. In this case, it's an interactive video where I can control it and really inspect the diamond. I can pull up the grading report, and very exclusive to Virtual Diamond Boutique is our matching feature. When I select the match, the original stone is at the top and the potential matches are at the bottom. I can view the images side by side, the grading reports, the videos until I make my own perfect match, in which case I can select the items as favorites. If I don't love the item at the bottom, you'll notice there's an arrow to the right of this. I can scroll item by item, compare the details, and make another potential match. I'm going to hit the back arrow button and go back to the diamond details. If I'm ready to move forward and contact the vendor, I have 4 options at the top of the page. I can tap on the contact to call them directly with a question. I can place a hold request for 6 or up to 72 hours at the vendor's discretion. I can send a buy request, request terms, and place the offer. Or I can send a memo request. If I know the vendor, I can immediately send a quick note and place the request. The vendor will immediately be notified by email as well as receive a pop-up notification on the app. If I do not know the vendor, my recommendation is follow up your memo request with a quick phone call to ask them which credentials they need from you to proceed with the shipment. I'm going to go back to my results. When I go back to my results, you can see the favorites in the upper right-hand corner that have been saved. It's a quick link right to my favorites. If I tap on it, I can see the 3 stones that are saved there. But better than just saving items, I can also create collections and become more organized in whom I'm saving the diamonds for. So to create a new collection, I simply click the plus in the upper right-hand corner, and I can just do demo, name it whatever I like. I can go back over to the Love tab, select the items by putting a check mark in the open circle left of each, and then hit plus at the bottom. I have several folders, so I'm going to have to scroll down to select the folder I want to move to. When I tap back on the Collection tab, now my demo folder has 3 items, and I can tap the menu to the right to either view, rename, share, or delete this. I'm going to opt to view. Within this, I can view down. I can remove and edit the collection because I don't want to show my client any items without pictures, perhaps. And when I view the top stone, I'm going to be mindful that I'm seeing vendor information, which means I'm looking at cost. So if my client is now coming into the store, I can simply go to my home menu, tap on my name, engage my markup price, modify the markup percent as needed, and go back into the folder, view the folder, and now when I view that diamond, the vendor information is obscured and the price, as you know, is marked up with my 35% markup. If my customer has now viewed this and selected this item, I could even share it via email or WhatsApp or SMS. I also have the option, this is a brand new feature we just added to the Virtual Diamond Boutique, where our retailers love the share feature tremendously, but what they ask for is the ability to share not just one stone, but a whole collection in case they have a customer that they would like to preview multiple items. So to share multiple items via the collection, you would click here via email, WhatsApp, or SMS. You can also access the share when you're in the general collection folder by clicking on the menu and share directly, and again choose email, SMS, etc. It's a really handy tool for selling remote, which particularly in this day and age with everything going on and stores being closed, it's a beautiful way for you to share a collection with your customer, allow her to see the items you've curated and make her selection. So when life returns to normal, you can have those diamonds in stock in the store, show her and close the sale. Thank you very much for viewing the Virtual Diamond Boutique with me. I'm going to close out.
So now you have an idea of how intuitive and robust the search function is on the platform. I want to go over one of the things that my colleague mentioned because it's particularly relevant right now. Sharing stones virtually with your clients has always been a valuable feature. But it is especially timely now because your store may be closed due to a forced shutdown. And this is an extraordinary tool for you to use to keep engaging with your clientele. Don't forget, people are still getting engaged. They're still having birthdays and anniversaries. And a lot of them are bored out of their minds and they're searching and sourcing. They're looking online for gifts and for things. So if you, as a retailer, select items that you know a customer of yours may be looking for, if you've spoken to a customer and they've indicated what kind of a stone they want, and let's say you've selected 4 or 5 that you would like them to know about, as was mentioned in the video, you can select them in the orange or the green mode. You can put them into a folder or a collection, and you can send it to them so they can view the items that you have picked for them virtually. Then they have the ability to even narrow it down more. Maybe of 4 or 5 pieces that you've sent them, they'll tell you there's 1 or 2 that they really want to see when the stores reopen and they come in. So they're all ready to go. And you have the ability to memo those stones in that you know that they are particularly interested in seeing, so that once your store opens, and it will open, you have the ability to show product that your customer has already seen, is already excited about, and there's a very high likelihood that you'll be able to sell to them. So this gives you a distinct advantage over retailers that don't have this ability and are sitting home, don't know what to do with themselves. You have the ability through the share function of selecting a favorite, creating a collection, and then sharing it and discussing it back and forth with your clients. And I just wanted to emphasize that because I think it's a very important feature for you to know about. So VDB, again, we stress this point that we are an in-store selling tool. If a customer comes into your retail store and they tell you that, let's say they're searching for an engagement ring, they tell you all the characteristics that they're hoping to see, you show them everything you have in your showcases. And you're working with them, you're spending time. It's just not what they are looking for. So instead of them saying to you, oh, thank you so much for your time, but we're gonna leave now, they're gonna go to a competitor, or God forbid, they're gonna buy from an online e-tailer. Now you say to them, wait, you don't have to leave. I have tremendous inventory that I can show you. Let's look at what I can offer you. So what you do is you turn your phone, you turn your tablet to them in store, and you perform a search for the stone of their dreams. And a wonderful suggestion is to actually have them put their fingers, put their hands on the device and become part of the selection process. It's like, psychologically, when they do this, it sort of replicates what it is that they love doing when they search for and they shop online. So you let them be part of the process. So in that respect, a customer that comes in and is not finding what they want, it's a way of keeping them in your store, showing them other merchandise that you can get in for them and potentially sell to them. It prevents them from leaving. And the other scenario, I think, is if somebody calls you on a Tuesday and says they're going to come in with their fiance on Saturday, and this is what they're hoping to see, now you've got 4 or 5 days advance notice in which you can do your own sourcing and searching and come up with results and then narrow it down and then create a collection with that customer's name on it that you think they'll want to see. And then when the customer comes in 5 days later, you have the ability to go right to the folder that you named for them, open up, and show them the pieces that you have pre-selected for them. I have to tell you something just on a personal note. In my life, pre-Virtual Diamond Boutique, I was you. I was working behind the counter. I was selling diamonds and engagement primarily. I have to tell you, without any shame, I was one of the best salesmen that the company that I worked for ever had. Very few could hold a candle to me. But where I was lacking was in my organizational skills. I used to create folders with Post-its for customers that were coming in to see me. And then they would come in 2 weeks later, and I scrambled to find what I had pulled for them. And the Post-its fell off and the pages fell out. Sometimes I had to do the search all over in front of them. And you know how today's shoppers are. Time is of an essence. Everything is now, now, now. Sometimes I could lose a sale because of that. This beautiful record-keeping ability would have been a godsend to me. And this is one of the tools that we offer to you. It keeps you in order. It keeps you able to engage with your customers quickly, expediently, and not have them get bored and restless and want to leave. Everything that we show you for over-the-counter presentation, as we said, has this beautiful visual search interface. We are showing them, we're dazzling them with images and videos, and we're not showing them written pieces of paper with facts on them. And as I previously said, you can show to them in your markup mode. So you have the comfort of knowing that when you show something, you are showing to them with your intended markup percent added to it. You know, another thing that's very interesting is the VDB platform. It not only enables you to pre-sell, because we've had calls from retailers that were telling us that they were able to actually get a credit card and ring up a sale for a stone even before they were able to physically get it into the store, because based on the video and the image, the customer was so dazzled by what they saw that they said, this is the stone for me. I don't have to look any further. And they pulled out their credit card and they bought it. So you can actually pre-sell. It's also a great way to educate your customers. And by educate, I mean, let's say a customer comes in and they tell you, you know, as far as diamonds go, I tend to gravitate towards the square-shaped stones. But the only one they may know about is they've heard of a princess cut. Well, you now can pull out the VDB platform, open up the app, go to diamonds, and you can show them princess, cushion, modified emerald, azure, radiant, all the different stones that are in the square realm. And now you're going to be able to educate them, and they may say, oh my God, I love that Asher cut. That's the one I want. So you have a wonderful way of educating your customer through this. And I want to just tell you, using this as an in-store selling tool reinforces your position and your importance as the expert that's going to help guide them. When customers search from Blue Nile and James Allen and these other e-tailers, there's not somebody there that when they find 2 or 3 stones that they love, they don't have someone that they can really bounce ideas off of and which one do you think is right. This reinforces your position as the in-store expert, and it reinforces the essential importance of having a brick and mortar retail store to go to, because you're going to find 2 or 3 or 4 stones, and the retailer is going to go through them and say, well, based on everything you told me and what you're looking for, this is the stone for you. And that is going to build a loyalty that money can't buy. That's going to build a loyalty. They're going to come back. Their friends are going to come back, and they're going to tell all their relatives, you got to go to XYZ jewelry store because so-and-so is a wonderful advisor and will guide you to the perfect product. So I just wanted to give you some ideas as to why using in-store at what we provide you with is so critical, is so crucial. We can go to the next slide now. VDB has what we refer to as our white label plans. White labeling gives retailers a way to enhance what we offer them for free. It takes the free in-store selling tools and it allows them to upgrade it by branding it with their own colors and logo, with their desired custom look, and with their specific preferences. So what happens is when a retailer brands the free version to this upgraded, what we call the business plan, it provides them with a much more elegant way of engaging with their customers. And I want to tell you a few of the wonderful features that go along with this business plan. So in addition to having it have your store's name on the homepage instead of the VDB logo, and using your logo and coloring, it gives you the ability to have tiered markups if you have a tiered markup structure in your store. So what you saw in that video demo was a wonderful way to go into the orange mode and to add through the front end a single markup percentage. But maybe the way your business model is that you have markups that are tiered by carat weight or by dollar amount. So having this business plan gives you the ability to do that. It also gives you the ability to lock in your favorite vendors. So we will create a button for you, and you will tell us which vendors you prefer to work with. And when your employees will perform a search for product in store with customers, they will only be able to search from vendors' inventories that you have selected and that you choose to work with. They're not going to accidentally pick a vendor in India or Hong Kong that they have never met, that you have never met and never done business with. It gives you the comfort of knowing that your staff is relegated to the vendors that you choose to work with. It also gives you the ability to restrict what your staff can see. You may have a manager that's worked for you for 10 years and they're your right-hand person, and you allow them to memo in goods without checking with you. You allow them to see who the vendors are that they're searching from and what your cost would be from this vendor, because you have a long history and trusting relationship. But you may have some other employees that are newer to you, and you don't quite want to reveal to them who you're buying from, and what you're paying for the items. So you have the ability to maintain control over your business plan by giving them permission only to search in the orange mode, where they only can see your retail cost and no vendor information. That's up to you, and having control is very important. Also, in the realm of having control, you may have it set up where we have a purchasing agent feature. So if one of your employees wanted to pull in a stone on memo, which involves a cost to you for the shipping, or perhaps to buy a stone for a client that they're working with, instead of having them click a button and be able to buy or memo a stone directly from the supplier, when they make a request to memo or buy a stone, that request will go to the store owner or the designated manager, to the quote unquote purchasing agent. So you or your manager have the ability to see what your employee is requesting, and you can either approve it or you can deny what he's asking for, and maybe quickly do a search and give him an alternate option from a vendor that you prefer to work with, or maybe a better option that's more price efficient for you. So it gives you control that if you do funnel the requests to someone at your store, you or a manager, it will do this for you. You can share your store's inventory internally if you happen to have more than one store location. So if you have store 1, 2, and 3, and somebody comes in and they're asking for something specific, and it's not available in store 1, but your employee has a hunch that store 2 or 3 might have it, there is a way through VDB, through this business plan, that they can see all of your internal inventory and where it's located. It even can get so specific as to tell them what showcase it is in at the other store, and maybe even what shelf it's on, so that the other store can identify it immediately. And then you can tell your customer in store 1, I can have this for you in an hour, would you like to come back? Instead of walking away without getting the item. I wanted you to know that you can, there's a way with the business plan for you to have us create a button with all of your own store inventory on it, so that you can instruct your employees that the first thing that they have to do if they're going to use the VDB platform with a customer is search through all the inventory that you already own in store. Obviously, it makes sense that you would want to sell what you have. So employees know that they press the button that you've designated, and then if and only if they cannot find from your inventory what the customer wants, then they have the ability to press another button and access everything from the preferred vendors that you have allocated that are part of the whole VDB network. So I just wanted you to understand how customizable all of this is for you. The pricing for this is incredibly, incredibly reasonable. And I encourage you, if you hopefully will get in the mode of working with your customers in store with the VDB app, you will, I'm sure you will want to upgrade to this beautiful advanced feature, because you always want to present the most elegant way of engaging with your customer. So I wanted to put that out there as an option. We can go to the next video, the next slide, excuse me. Another product that's part of our white label arsenal is the ability for a retailer to have our beautiful search, diamond search, integrated onto their website. The way today's shoppers are shopping, they're very spoiled. They go to Blue Nile, they go to James Allen, they see 150,000 stones. Then they say, well, I wonder what my local jewelry store has in store. And they go to your website, they don't see a diamond search. Click, They go right, they leave your website and they go to the next website. And they keep going until they find a retail store, a brick and mortar store that will have a very full level of inventory that they can come in and discuss with you, and you can show them and walk them through. So what an iframe, or iframe is just the technical term for a search, a diamond search. What the iframe tends to do, and I hear this from retailers all the time who have gone with this option, it tends to be an inducement to drive foot traffic to your store. You could fully customize the iframe. We have a design team that will design it so that it blends in beautifully with your website, with your colors and the way it looks. You can customize the parameters. We have some retailers that have our iframe that don't want 7 labs to choose from. They want their customers only to pick GIA. So we only have a GIA button. We have a retail client who only sells D through H color stones. So I through Z, we removed. We have a customer that only does VS1 and 2 and SI1, 2, and 3. So internally flawless, and VVS1 and 2, we took off. You have a way to customize it to your business plan, to how you want to work. And you select the vendors whose inventories you wish to have uploaded into the back end of this search. So again, somebody that goes to your website that is enthralled with your diamond search is not going to be dazzled by a diamond that's from a vendor not of your choosing. They will only be able to select from the vendors that you choose. They click a request button, and this opens up a line of communication for you to call or email your client and set up a scheduled appointment for them to come in. So having a diamond search is an absolute necessity today because of the way buyers are buying. I can go to the next. Another similar product that we offer is if you happen to have an e-commerce shopping cart on your website, like Shopify, Magento, or WooCommerce, we have the ability to take this beautiful VDB diamond search and integrate it to the e-commerce platform so that your customers can actually do their own searching and investigating. And once they find the diamond that they love, they can actually check it out right from your e-commerce provider. And this is wonderful because especially now when we're all suffering with these forced shutdowns, you could actually be generating business. You could be pulling in dollars because your customers, let me tell you, they are online. They don't know what to do with themselves. They are online and they are shopping. If someone knows they have an engagement scheduled coming up, they're gonna be proposing, you better believe that now is a time when they are searching online. And the iframe, while it's not hooked up to an e-commerce platform, is, as I said, a wonderful encouragement to drive business to the store. And with the e-commerce integration, it also can drive business to the store, but there are many shoppers who will be just as happy to check out, put in their credit card information, and buy product from you. We can go to the next slide. One of the most extraordinary and sophisticated products that we offer is the ability for us to create for retailers and suppliers your own customized app. An app that's under your name in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store so that your customers can actually download your app with your name, have it, you can have this for the web, meaning on the computer, or you can have it as a mobile app. They can actually download your own customized app on their mobile devices. This means that a customer is walking around every day searching and sourcing and looking and shopping, and when they have a jewelry purchase to make, they have the ability to find you as their first source because you are right there, front and center. You have a way of having the inventory that's in your store visible to a whole host of people, either through your website or on mobile devices. You know, there's statistics are something like 90% of people who get smartphones, get them for the purpose of shopping online, and probably five to 6 hours a day, people are actually spending time shopping. They say that 70 to 80% of all purchases that are made through apps. So it would behoove you to consider creating your own customized app. This is not the wave of the future, this is the present. And I just want to tell you that the cost to create for a company to develop a custom app for you can be hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on how technically involved and how robust it is. We have the ability to offer this product to you for startlingly reasonable prices. We have had very, very little pushback from customers that wanted to explore this option. And if you are interested at all, I encourage you to reach out to us and we'll be happy to give you all the options for customization that are available. All right? What's on our neck? So we're going to have a question and answer session now. I wanted to thank you so much for participating in this and allowing me to kind of try to clarify some of the things that you may not be aware of. Most importantly, I think most of you know that we are an extraordinary sourcing tool, but really, I believe that if you are not also using us, as I said so many times, in-store, as an in-store selling tool, directly with your customers, you are missing out on what might be the most important benefit that VDB offers you. And you know, in closing, you know, I was trying to think of something very profound and wonderful to say to you, something inspirational. And, you know, we're going through such tough times now. And so what I was thinking was, there's no upside. There's really no positive side to this horrible pandemic that we're experiencing. But think of it this way, you know, the lockdown that we're all going through may just enable you guys out there to have a little time to think about the direction that you would like to take your business. It might be the time to focus on new ways of conducting your business, of reading up on things that you've heard about, but because the physical constraints of running and operating a business are so taxing and so demanding that you can't even consider it. You're just obsessed with getting in your inventory, working with your customers, making sales. You can't really plan strategy. VDB as a company very much wants to be a part of creating a better future for you and for your business. We would love to be able to be your technology partner for all of your business needs. And I welcome you to contact me, contact my colleagues. Our website is www.vdbapp.com. If you have not downloaded the app yet, I encourage you to go. And once you download this app to your computer or your phone or your tablet, and you start playing around with it, you start navigating through it, you are going to become addicted to it. You are going to see the benefits of all the features that we provide. And as you start to use it, you're going to become truly professional, truly gifted at this. You are going to be able to engage with the new crop of customers in the way they are expecting and demanding to be dealt with. And VDB is going to be your partner in that. So I thank you very much. If there's anyone that has any questions about anything, oh, thank you, Terry, thank you, Lee. If anyone has anything that they'd like to ask, you can ask it now and I'll try to answer. If not, if something occurs to you afterwards, please feel free to reach out. We do have an extraordinary support team and we're always available to you to help you, walk you through any issue or situation or question that you have.
Hi, Lawrence. So this is Holly. So we have some questions in the Q&A box.
Oh, okay.
Josh would like to know, does the e-commerce integrate with Square?
With Squarespace?
He just wrote Square, sorry.
Yeah, Squarespace.
I don't believe that we have done an e-commerce integration to date with Squarespace. Elliot, do you have any information on that?
So we don't have an e-commerce integration for Squarespace, but our iframe is global, universal, and it will work with any modern website. And you can also use our APIs if you want to build something custom in Squarespace.
Oh, that's good. So an API is the inventory feed from the vendor. And with Squarespace or certain other e-commerce platforms, we give you the ability to request and we will give you the inventory. If the vendor approves you and says, yes, you can have it, we can get the API feed, the inventory feed to you from that vendor. Canadian jeweler, how easy is it to connect with vendors that already use your platform? We have a lot of Canadian retailers and they are connecting with some of the Canadian diamond vendors that are showing their inventory on our platform. We've had a lot of success with that. You also have the ability to connect with US vendors that are more than happy to ship to you in Canada. Our Canadian membership is growing by leaps and bounds. I want you to be aware of that. Thank you, Ali. You're very welcome. Any other questions right now? Anything anyone wants answered? I think that you're all digesting everything that we went through. And sometimes things occur after the fact. And I'm happy to answer any of those questions that should come up. Okay? And Holly, how does it work? If anybody wants a copy of the webinar, do they have to request it or will we automatically send it to the participant?
No, we will automatically send the recording as soon as it is ready. Nimish also had a follow-up question about how does the app have a salesperson-wise button at the customer level? A retailer has multiple salespeople and various locations, though the inventory is common, they would like to have search done at their level and save their searches to service their customer. Does the app support the salesperson to personalize at their level?
Yes, it does. You have the ability to create a VDB private, a separate account for up to 20 of your team members without charge. And each one of them will be able to log in and search and source and then create collections and folders for their specific customers so that they can effectively engage with them. And I encourage you, if you have one centralized member for your business and several of them want to go on it at the same time, it's not going to allow it. This way, your individual team members can have their own accounts and when they leave and go to an event or a party or a concert, each one of them will actually have the VDB platform and be able to transact business on behalf of the store, on behalf of their private customers, even when they're not in the store. So the answer is yes, and I encourage you to request separate accounts for each and every one. Can I have both simultaneously a white label version as well as a VDB profile, depending on which customer I can direct them to accordingly? So when you have the white label version, you will be able to delegate permissions and restrictions to each of your registered users in your store. So one of them may only have permission to search from a certain designated group of vendors, and another one at your discretion can search from the designated vendors and the VDB community. So with the upgraded white labeling, you do have that ability. You can get the app. Is that Liz from Barony Jewelers? You can get the app on your Android tablet. If you already have an account, all you need to do is, you've already created an account, you can sign in with the same username and password as you've already created on your Android tablet. If you haven't signed up yet on an Android device, all you need to do is go to the Play Store and find the Virtual Diamond Boutique app, and then select it, open it, and download it. You may download the app from your Play Store, absolutely. Is there a way to search vendor lists? Yes. In the search parameters that you have a way to search by geographic location and by specific vendor. So for example, if you went to your phone and you were in the Diamond platform and you would go to the supplier tab, and in the open field, if you type in the letter A, on your mobile device, you can scroll through and see an A through Z listing of all the vendors. We have hundreds and hundreds of vendors. You can see all the vendors who are listing on the platform just by going to the supplier field. If you knew a supplier that you want started with the letter D, you could just type in a D and everybody who begins with a D will populate. So that's your way of seeing who is on the platform. Just be aware that at the current time, geographic location search and supplier search are mutually exclusive. So you should enter either or. If you enter a location like New York, for example, and you enter a favorite supplier that's in New York, your search results are going to show you all of the listing suppliers from New York. So just pick one or the other, but it's an amazing tool. If you want to search and you know you're going to memo in a stone and you're aware that India, for example, does not work on a memo basis, you may want to limit your search to United States or to New York or to Canada or to Los Angeles, whatever. You can enter that geographic location and then your search will provide you with more relevant information. So if there are no more open questions, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for spending this time with me, and I encourage you to download the app, work your way through the platform, and contact me, and I will give you a personal guided tour. I will answer all your questions and be happy to take you through all of the features that VDB provides to you and answer any questions you have about the enhanced in-store selling features. Thank you so much. Thank you, Isabel. So good to hear from you. In Brazil, we have no representative. I can ask for exclusive representative. And we can talk about that privately off the webinar. Feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.